us some general thoughts about your 28 newcomers for the 2014 roster.
Well, we were pleased that, number one, we had a lot of mix in the class. The way we drilled down our recruiting, we ended up taking 8 junior college players and 20 high school players. We feel it's a very thorough class. Obviously, we addressed 2 critical needs with our receiving position and our offensive line position. So being able to get those 2 positions was huge for us.
Okay. Talk a little bit just about where the guys are coming from and maybe some numbers on position-wise what you got.
You know, we went a lot more nationally, if you will, this year. We still secured the local crew with 7 Oklahoma kids. We signed 12 out of Texas. We signed 1 from Louisiana, 1 from Detroit, and 6 from California. So we had a nice class within that context of the offensive line, receivers, quarterbacks, linebacker, tight end. So we were pleased with each of that. Of course, we took 8 receivers, was the biggest part of the class. Followed that with 6 offensive linemen, 4 defensive linemen, 3 quarterbacks, and then a linebacker, a tight end, and a running back. So we felt good about the variable with how we adjusted within our roster, because ultimately everything we're doing when we address our signing class is about the roster and making sure that the roster has appropriate depth and great personnel at each of those positions. You know, we were real pleased with our offensive linemen, and I think every time you look, there's a guy that you're really excited about, and taking the transfer Kevin Bowen from Southwestern College in San Diego. I mean, Kevin's 6'8.5", 342 pounds, and was a 2-year starter and all-conference player out in the California Junior College. But more importantly, he didn't give up a sack in 2 years, and that's unbelievable. Aaron Rodgers, the center from Golden West Community College, has been an all-conference player every year. He's dominated, and the great thing about him, he's going to be a 3-year player for us. He's got 3 years remaining. Those were our 2 junior college players that we took on the offensive line. Then from a high school standpoint, I mean, you're still always going to be fired up when you're able to stay home in Ada and get a kid. Cameron Large, an all-district player the last 2 years for Ada High School. His granddad played here. He's been a dynamite player. He's a great leader, and he's going to bring an element of toughness and discipline. We signed Charlie Bray from Pottsboro, Texas, which is just across the lake. But another giant human being, 6'7", 305 pounds. So we had a really nice group. Took a big lineman from Arlington Lamar. It's a 5A school in Texas. Took a big lineman from Trinity Euless, or Euless Trinity. I'm sorry. That's a dynamite player and a dynamite human being. But both Massesi and Tyler are going to be great players for us. At defensive back, we really went with 2. We were only going to sign 2 corners and 1 safety, and we were very excited about these kids. I'm going to start in Oklahoma. We took Loudon Johnson from Wayne. Loudon was, is a highly recruited individual, multi-talented, played. He's really a jack-of-all-trades football player. I mean, he did so much for his team. I mean, they won a state championship when he was a younger player. He has ties to East Central and the community. What a terrific signee, a natural-born leader, great student, heavily involved. We're really excited about him. We also signed DJ Jackson from Frisco. And DJ's, a phenomenal athlete. You're talking about a big cover corner that has superior athletic skills. I mean, here's a guy that started a large class in Texas and really started both ways, which is unheard of, at receiver and defensive back. Put up numerous yards at receiver, and he's a ball hawk really on both sides of the ball. So we're really excited about him. And then Jacob Royal from, really right across the river at Gainesville. Another big corner, has terrific athletic ability, great body control. Really pleased about the athletic movements that those three young men can make. We signed three quarterbacks. We were really fortunate last year that Spencer basically played injury-free ball all year because we didn't have a whole lot of depth at that position. So we had to address the depth. We brought a transfer in Rocky Moore from Mount Sac out in California. His dad's a legendary basketball coach out there, and the kid just has a big-time arm, great pocket presence, and is really a terrific player. Again, we'll start here locally. We took Ryan Rackley from Sulphur. Again, a local player, big body. He's 6'2 and a half, 220 pounds. He's a tough guy. He's a really great athlete, and we're extremely excited about him. And then we took Jackson Lamb, another youngster from Frisco. And Jackson, he threw for close to 5,000 yards in 2 years at Frisco, including a lot of touchdown passes. That ratio was high, and I mean, he was a top 30 quarterback in Texas, by Dave Campbell's high school magazine, which is, one of the top, news issues or sports issues for the state of Texas. So, we were pleased with that position.
Okay.
Another position that we've always pursued here and will continue is since we have a good bunch of defensive linemen that have gone through East Central, is we're always going to take the defensive ends, and we took four. We took a transfer in Justin Vanetta, 6'4", 250-pound defensive end from San Bernardino. He had 16 and a half tackles for losses, 6.5 sacks. I mean, he's a first-team all-defensive player out in California. And then I guess I'll again go locally here. Took Cameron Henn, defensive end, off that great Plainview team this year. Cameron had 68 tackles and 7 sacks. Terrific student, outstanding citizen. Long arms, good body. Also took Noble Libron from Bethany, Oklahoma, another 6'4", 235-pound defensive end. 125 tackles, 11 quarterback hurries, 5 sacks. And Andre Shelton, another young man from Frisco, which we took 3 out of Frisco, but they were from 2 different high schools. But Andre was also a teammate of DJ Jackson, and also was a first-team all-district player. So we're really pleased with that position also.